we all know, we have been learning that. So it's basically a union between body, mind, and soul. So that's what we have been taught, and that's what is being written in the scripture. And the second one is what is psychology? Psychology is nothing but the study of the human mind, or how he behaves, or how his mental characteristics are, or how the person carries his attitude. So that is what psychology is. And Kathopanishad, it's one of the Vedas, or it's one of the scripture, where it has a 119 mantras or in a quiet form. So this Kathopanishad is basically a conversation between a 9-year-old guy and Yamadharmaraja, who is a god of death. So let's look at the story, what happens, and then this has a kind of a poetic conversation between these two guys. And Kathopanishad is basically a kind of a Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna gives knowledge to Arjuna. Here, Lord Yama gives the knowledge to Nachiketas. The only difference is that whereas Arjuna was ignorant and Nachiketas is the true seeker, or rather an aspirant who want to know what is the truth. So let's go to the story. This one talks about basically we need to understand Atman, Brahman, and Moksha. And the story of Nachiketas is nothing but his father wanted to give a sacrifice so that he can attain the supreme reality, or so that he can realize the supreme reality. So there are some rituals which are mentioned in other scriptures, so he was performing everything. So while doing that, he was giving the sacrifice as a kind of the cows which are not pure. So maybe they are sick or they have not given birth. Those kind of sacrifices which he was doing. So for this guy, even though he is a 9-year-old, so for him it looked like wrong. So that is not the actual sacrifice which he was supposed to give when you are not expecting something. So his father was expecting to get something, or for his own well-being he was doing the sacrifice. So he found this fault and then he addressed the same to his dad, saying that what you are doing is out of ignorance, and as well as you are giving a sacrifice as a ill cause. So his father got angry, so he shouted at him, if you talk too much, I will sacrifice you as well. I will give you as well. And this child, this guy, 9-year-old guy, he is asking where he is sending. He says that I will send you to death, Lord Hema. So that's the story. And then after that, what happens, we do not know. So there are two different type of aspects which I come across by reading it. So one, his father kills him and he goes to Lord Yama's ado. And the another one, he does his tapas and then he goes into Lord Yama by doing his own meditation on these tapas. So these two different aspects I could figure it out, but in the Kathopanishad, nothing is mentioned how he reached to Lord Yama's ado. So once he reached Lord Yama's ado, so he was there and he was fasting for 3 days. He wasn't eating anything. He was just continuing his tapas or sadhana. Then at that point of time, when somebody who comes into your house as a guest, or as a kind of a brahmana comes as a guest, so you have to treat him good. You have to host him well. So if you do not do that, it may happen that the sadhu or a sage or a guest who can either take away everything from you or he can give you a bonus. So these two things can happen. Lord Yama came after 3 days, then he realized what mistake he has done. So then he is offering him this Nachiketas 3 boons. So to compensate his mistake, as this guy was waiting in his ado without eating him. Clear? So this is a kind of a vast topic, so please pay attention. Then there are 3 boons he is asking. So one, he is asking that I want to go home. When I go back, my father should, realize what he has done as a wrong, and then he should forget everything. Everybody has to treat him well. So that was one boon. So that Yama was pleased and he had granted that. And the second one, he is asking that by seeing in the heaven, everybody is so happy. Nobody is feeling hungry. Nobody is feeling thirsty. And people are living like 500 years, 1000 years. So wanted to have that kind of immortality. So for that, Yamadharma suggests him a kind of a technique, which is a fire sacrifice or a Agni Vidya. But there was no written scripture or written text about what is that Agni Vidya. So by doing that price, you can reach the immortal. So when he explained everything to Nachiketa, Nachiketa was able to understand that, and then he was able to repeat it correctly as told to him. So he was so impressed, Lord Yama was so impressed by this student. So he said that going forward, this particular fire sacrifice will be named as Nachiketa's fire. So that is a kind of additional boon he had given to Nachiketas. And the third one, he is asking, this is the important one. So after this, the entire Kathopanishad speaks about the third boon. So the third boon, he is asking about what will happen to somebody after he is dead, whether he will be alive or he will be dead. So that is the third boon. He wanted to know the truth, what would happen if I am dead. Will I be alive or will I be dead? So Yama is a kind of a puzzle now. So he don't want to, directly reveal everything to this 9-year-old guy. So he wanted to test him. So he wanted to test him by offering land, by offering kind of a long live, and he even says him, I will make you a king of earth, and I will even give you these angels and all those stuff, birds and everything. So he's offering all the worldly pleasures. But this guy is so focused on what he wanted. Then Yama is pleased, and then he goes on and explains what is that. So this is from the teachings is starting. So the teaching starts from when a man he is being offered with two qualities, either good or the pleasant. So the wise man chooses the good one, and the ignorant one chooses the pleasant one. So what is the pleasant one? Which is not in aligned with our soul. So maybe like if everything you are sensing with your sense organs, that you can consider as a pleasantness. And everything which comes from your heart, that you can consider as the good one. So that Yama says that the wise one who chooses the good and the ignorant man who chooses the pleasant. So then going further, what is while choosing the good one, what you are going to achieve, you are going to realize the Atman. So Atman is nothing but your inner self or your soul, your individual soul. So that is what Atman is. So by realizing this individual self, so what you are going to do is that you will transcend the joy and sorrow. So this is the duality everybody who were born here in planet Earth dwell into. Either we are dwell into love or fear. Dark, light, joy, sorrow. So these are the two dualities which we always, dwell upon. So the one who realizes his inner self, or who is able to understand his inner self, he transcends this particular duality, and then he reaches the eternal happiness. So how does he do that? By doing meditation and concentration meditation. So this is how we get to know our inner self. So this is what Yama tells about to this guy. So there are a lot of things I have written, but I won't be able to, let's try to understand what is actually Atman. So Atman is hidden in everywhere, it's available in every being, whichever in this planet or in all the existence. So anything which has a soul, that beings are considered. So that's what the Atman is. And then Atman का quality है soundless, touchless, formless. You cannot sense Atman with any of the sense organs. So that is called Atman. this is what Atman is. This is the pure one. So when we born as a child, this is how pure we are. So after that, there were a lot of programming or a lot of other stuff which we are learning. So that have become kind of a layer within us. So we need to, unlayer everything to really know who we are and what we are supposed to do. So that is what Atman is, which is the pure one and which is a separate from all the forms. So you cannot see it, you cannot sense it. And which is the spirit. So there are a lot of definitions of that. So which is subtler than even the subtlest. So that is the beauty about this one. And this is not a body, this is not an external identity. You cannot identify. So this is Atman. So this is a picture I have taken from internet. Okay. So this picture you may find it everywhere in Bhagavad Gita or any Indian scriptures related to it. This picture you may be finding it. So this one I have taken from internet. I think some scholar have done some paper. So this is what actually Kathopanishad talks about. So we think we are a body, but we are not. We are a soul. And everything, body, sense objects, sense organs, mind and intellects, which actually satisfy the soul. So every order or rather, it has been perceived and enjoyed by the soul, not by the body or by the sense objects or the organs or mind or intellect. So let's talk about how do we reach our higher self or the Atman. So our body is a kind of a chariot, and this is the sense organ, so which we smell, which we hear, which we eat, see, feel. Everything is the sense organs. So by using the sense organs, we identify something. So for example, I am seeing the board. So that is a sense object. And by these two, I am identifying something that is a board. So that is the job of mind. Okay. So the mind is the rein. So how I control my sense organs and how I see the objects, so that is the mind. And then comes the intellect part. So after I find something, this is bored, so I need to discern whether it's good or is a pleasant one. So that knowledge I will get it from the intellect. Then I will choose whether it is good or it is a pleasant. So if I choose the pleasant one, then once again I will go back to the thinking of I am a body. But if I choose the good one, then slowly I will reach my higher self. Slowly I will understand now. So how the veil is being lifted, how the glass body you can slowly from glass body will reach the certain body. So the first you have the sense organs, beyond the sense organs you have the sense objects, then beyond the sense objects you have the mind, then intellect is something beyond the mind which mind cannot understand, and beyond intellect it is Atman, and beyond Atman it is unmanifested. And then beyond Atman, which is Brahman, and beyond Brahman, nothing. So this one is wrong. This is not end or final goal. This is the end. This one is not here. This is supposed to be here. So beyond Brahman, nothing. Then who is Brahman? Brahman. So once we connected with our higher self or our individual soul, us, then through that we will be able to be in union with Brahman. So Brahman is something which you cannot search for it. So the more and more you be in aligned with your soul, it will automatically reveal to you. And then to whom it will reveal to you? The one who is pure. So when you say pure, at the time of when we born, so at that time the soul how pure it is. So we have to reach to that level. Then the Brahman will be revealed to that particular person on his own. So you don't. That doesn't mean you don't need to do anything. So you have to keep doing your work so that you get to know yourself or the higher self, and then through that you reach Supreme Self. And at the end, this Yama also conveys the message to the third person which he had asked, what happens to me after I die? Which means, by the Kathopanishad teachings, once we understand we are a soul, not a body, so which means nothing happens to us. We neither die, we neither live. So basically, we are a kind of a soul, or we are an energy. It transforms from one place to another place. For example, I take this body as vehicle for this birth, maybe for the next birth. If I am not able to realize the Brahman in this birth, then I have to choose another vehicle, which could be another birth. So, yeah, that's what I understood from Kathopanishad. So now let's talk about the conclusion. I mean, there is no conclusion in terms of Vedas, but this is a kind of a conclusion from my understanding, or rather, how do we implement the yoga psychology, yoga of Kathopanishad in the psychology, or in our day-to-day activities. And one more point I missed it. There are two yogas are being talked about in Kathopanishad. One is the Jnana Yoga, and the other one is Raja Yoga. So Jnana Yoga is the knowledge which Yama is preaching to this Nachiketa, and the Raja Yoga is something to reach or to realize the Atman, what we need to do. So those two has been talked about in this Kathopanishad. So these are the some points which we could apply in our day-to-day life. So this guy has a good quality of his being a really a true seeker. He wanted to know what is the truth. He wanted to know what is the ultimate. He wanted to know what is the supreme reality. He wanted to know what is soul. He wanted to know what happens after I being dead. So we have to be in that kind of aspect, not only in the spiritual path, on anything, whatever we do, even if you are cooking, even if you are studying, even if you are walking. So you have to be really be aware of what you want, and then follow the same thing. These both are kind of complements each other. So be a good disciple like him, be willingness to learn, and don't give up on the learning, and be focused when he is being offered with so many other worthy blessings by Yama, just to test him. So he wasn't giving up. So he was so focused on the boon which he wanted to know. We can be like him, and from the guru perspective, as a guru, once you attain that particular knowledge, or once you realize who you are, then you are not supposed to reach to everybody. So for example, you attain some knowledge, or you realize something, the guru quality comes in there. So you are not supposed to go and speak to 100% or call everybody, I'm going to tell you this. So you be contented with yourself and test the disciple when he comes in, when he want to really know or want to really learn from you, then you share your knowledge. So that's one quality of guru. And then you could be fearless, and you have to be free. Like when your father is even doing something wrong, even though he's a 9-year-old boy, he was able to find it out his mistake, and he was not even afraid of death. So at that age itself, he was very clear on what he wanted. And if I need to conclude, sorry, I don't want to use the conclusion word. If I need to tell everybody what I understood from this one is, we think we are body, but we are not. We are soul, and we have a body. That's it. Thank you.
His father could not answer.
Which one?
Nachiketa's father could not give satisfactory answer. So what was question of Nachiketa. Nachiketa asked many questions. He wanted the truth, but he offered everything to his mother. But what question he could not answer?
He was asking, why are you doing all this stuff?
Why you are doing?
Why are you sacrificing all this?
Ah.
So when he was keep on repeating this one, you are not supposed to do this one, he wanted to attain that particular, supreme knowledge. So that's the reason he was doing this one. So he was finding out his mistakes. That the sacrifice which you are doing is for the selfish reasons, not to. That's when his
What
father got
Nachiketa
it.
wanted? So you can read that and
Yeah.
afterwards tell. What actually he wanted and his father could not give. That is the very crux of it. Any question for this?
And one more point, the references is different. The references, there are really good books. So one from Chinmaya Mission, Swami Chinmayananda, and one from Swami Krishnananda, who is the disciple of Swami Shivananda Saraswati and Shankaracharya. And there was one more online. Uh, you can find it in Divine Life Society website. It is written by Swami Shivananda Saraswati. The essence of Divine Life Society. You can Google it.
Any question? So you said you said we can reach to the soul.
ज़्यादा जोर से हंस मत तू।
Sense organ we can reach to the soul.
No, I said that if we are satisfying the sense organs, which means we are still in a lower level that we think we are a body.
You said something we can reach to the soul also. Through sense organs you can reach to the soul. Something like that.
I said that we have to transcend everything from sense object to sense
Ashish.
organs, then from sense organs to mind. Then what mind can, what intellect can understand, which mind cannot understand. So from here, then we go here. So you have to detach from everything, or you have to control everything.
See, Vaibhav we have. For that, we should write less than one page.
Yes, sir, I will give.
Give me the crux of it. What you got out of it.
Yeah.
Kathopanishad. The ultimate message.
Yes, yes.
So in one page, and the previous figure also, just less than one page. Then give me. So now, next time, because we have already two presentations today, next time please be on time. 3 o'clock I will be also here. And so prepare all these things beforehand. So for that you can come at 2:45 and just make proper arrangements so that we can start in time. So 5 minutes late is okay. That is Indian standard time. 5 minutes late. Not more than that.